Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome to today's reading of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
The sorceress?
The Sorceress.
It's sorcerers.
Sorceress.
The stone belongs to the sorcerer.
The Sorcerer's Stone.
I love you. Welcome back to What's Your Favorite Scary Story?
Yeah. This is what I deal with all the time.
Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I'm not. I love you. It's okay.
Yo, listen.
It's fine.
Listen. I don't know if I have some weird accent or something.
It's not an accent. It's just, I think, you grew up learning 2 languages. It's not your fault. It's fine.
The Sorcerer's Stone? Is that correct?
It's closer. So say sorcerer.
Sorcerer.
It's like similar to your Figueroa issue.
Yeah, yo, I told you, everybody should know by now. I grew up not being able to pronounce the R correctly. Mm-hmm. So we should already be over this, babe.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna get married in 2 months.
Exactly from today.
Yes.
Which also stressing the bleep out right now. It's a lot, and I'm struggling.
It's very stressful to get married. So don't do it.
10 out of 10 don't recommend. Civil union, elopement, domestic partnership.
Just live together.
Just go sign a piece of paper. Yeah. But I love you, and I'm very excited to marry you.
I love you. Exactly. I'm on the same boat. Anyway, Sorcerer's Stone.
Pretty close.
Sorcerer.
The first time you called it like a sorceress.
Sorcerer's Stone.
Do you see the difference?
The Sorcerer's Stone. I can't.
It's so
babe.
not relevant, but it's okay. I forgive you.
Well, the reason I said that is because I have the book right in front of me.
Right.
And I was going to ask you if you knew the last sentence to the book.
I feel like I've heard it before, but I don't remember it.
It says, they don't know we're not allowed to use magic at home. I'm going to have a lot of fun with Dudley this summer. And I think Harry says that. Well, I just wanted to ask you.
Well, I don't know how it works in the books, but at least in the movies, eventually by like movie 3, they do know that he's not allowed to do magic outside of school.
Because according to that sentence,
right.
They don't know that.
Yeah, that's the first one. Right. So who knows what changes?
Yeah, because it looks like Ron Weasley. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He invited Harry over to his house for the summer, but he said no, that he's going to spend time with his... Anyway, this is just completely irrelevant. Sorcerers.
It's fine. We've got the time today with all of this wedding planning, last-minute stuff going on. I have a very, very short and sweet story for you guys. It's still interesting. It's going to be a much shorter episode this week. I did task Marlene with coming up with a very interesting, not so fun fact. So that'll give us a little banter, I think.
Yeah, which I got two not so fun facts this week.
You have 2 of them?
I have 2 of them this week.
That's perfect.
And one of them was a lot of thanks to the girl who waited on us. Mm-hmm. At what was
at the bar
CPK? At CPK, yeah. I met Alyssa after work today, after having a meeting, I guess, with a client, because I was supposed to go in Brentwood, Tennessee, which is like anyway, that doesn't matter. So that woman, girl, lady, I don't know, a person. She seems our age. Like, how is that how do we know when it's appropriate to call someone lady or woman? Like, if they're our age, like, what do we call them?
Oh, I thought you meant like pronouns kind of thing.
No,
I mean we could just go with person to be safe in all accounts.
Right, but I mean, us being not old and not young. Right. What do we call other people that are our age?
We're women. We are.
So another woman?
If that's how she identifies.
I don't like that, though. That feels like so...
It's okay.
I'm talking about, like,
Babe,
someone...
I've been called ma'am before.
I mean, me too. I'm just saying, like, I don't like these terms. Like,
just say person.
I don't like just generally referring to them as person.
Well, I don't
so
know
this
how to help
person
you.
that was, that just sounds funky.
They were a bartender at CPK.
Yeah, I guess.
Our bartender.
Yeah, but then that's just like what their job is, like their title, you know? Like, because someone can refer to me as like, oh, this printer that I was talking to.
Right,
it's
but
like,
also...
dude, but I'm also a person,
like,
though.
But you are also... Yeah, you're a person. So I think person is like a safe bet.
So this person that I was...
like, talking with, they... Yeah.
I guess. I'm not my favorite.
You could go with woman, but I mean, again, you don't know how she identifies. And I feel like lady's even worse, because, like, what if someone's talking about you and called you a lady? Like, that's... I don't think that's correct.
I don't like being called lady.
Yeah.
I've been called a lady before. And it's not like a gender thing, because, I mean, that's a whole different conversation. I really don't mind. Anyway, I've been called, oh yeah, that lady helped me. Like, I've been referred to that lady. And I'm like, I'm not just a lady, bro. Like, you could have said, like, oh, she helped me.
Right.
Oh, I guess you're right. This person, that person behind...
Yeah. Or like, oh, yeah. Like, I think, just like, oh, yeah, they helped me.
Yeah, they helped me. Yeah. It's just so complicated,
it's fine,
bro.
Let's get to the point.
But you know what I mean,
I know what you mean.
Okay.
It's all good, babe.
It's not just like a personal thing. I think we can all agree that...
I think we all agree
that that's kind of weird. Not weird, but like it makes me uncomfortable. I don't know if that's... Anyway. So what were we talking about again?
You were gonna say how the bartender and lovely person that helped us inspired your not so fun fact.
Yes. So she gave me a very not so fun fact that she brought Nemo into this.
Okay.
And then I was like, bro, why did you have to you could have told me this fact without mentioning Nemo and making me realize things,
Oh, no.
So, her fact, like I said, I have two facts because this first fact is kind of weird.
All right.
And I wanted to...
before we get into it, we need to allow for our lovely jingle to play. Enjoy.
Not so fun facts with marbles. So this first fact, it's like kind of weird, I guess. I'm going to try my best to not use certain words, but I feel like me dancing around it will give you the...
Got it. I believe in you.
So she was telling me that there's a type of octopus that... I can't remember if the female octopus attacks the male octopus or if the male octopus just gives up its organ.
I've heard about something like this, I think.
And the female octopus takes the organ and she just morphs it onto her body.
It's wild.
And then she uses it when she wants to reproduce.
Oh, damn. So it's like a donor kind of thing.
Right.
But maybe probably not voluntary.
Not 100%. And I can't deny or guarantee that that's what happens. Or that the male perishes after the fact.
Like a black widow.
So she said, right. So she said, she was like, that little octopus in Nemo? That's like, look at my legs.
You made me eat.
Yeah, and like she's like fluffing
like dancing around.
And she's like twirling her legs around. And she's like showing an extra vertebrae or an extra, what do you call it?
Tentacle?
That's what it is.
Oh, they get an extra tentacle?
Yeah, I mean,
and that's what allows them to reproduce?
Right, because I think if I remember correctly, one of them is shorter than the other one. Because that organ...
That's like their thing, because like Nemo has like a messed up fin. And then...
I don't know if Nemo has anything to do with it. I'm just talking about the octopus.
No, I know, but like, am I making it up how like, they're like, oh yeah, I have something wrong with me too. Like later at the end of the movie or something.
That's not the late of the movie. It's in the beginning.
Okay.
because that's when like they're going through the school thing, and we're shown the
ocean,
and then
the manta ray thing's like, there's something to see here.
Yeah. So it's like around that time in the movie, like in the beginning of the movie, where she's like, and look, this one's shorter than the rest, or something like that. It's because that's the male organ. And it's freaking wild. But that's
a baby. Why did she do it as a baby?
I don't know the logistics of it. I don't know the facts of it.
Oh, that's crazy.
I just thought, and I Googled it, and it seems like most of it is pretty accurate, which is why I feel comfortable sharing this fact. Mm-hmm. But it's not my favorite fact, but I asked her for help because she was there. And I was like, I'm supposed to be doing this thing, but I'm just really tired. I've had a day. Do you mind sharing a not so fun fact with me? And that was her not so fun fact.
Well, thank you for whoever you are, whatever your name is. She was also very nice. She was super nice. She gave me a free soda because she was like, "Oh, it's happy hour" when I got there.
Not just that, she literally said, all girls need to drink something.
Yeah, and I was like, is there a happy hour on soda? And she's like, well, people that come with someone who's having happy hour drinks get a soda. And so she got me a free soda. It was very nice.
It was very nice. But I do want to share my not so fun fact.
Okay, let's hear it.
So there is a waterborne microscopic brain-eating amoeba. What the heck is amoeba? That can enter your body through your nose, that's found in fresh water, but can also be present in water that's in parks and pools. And you cannot detect it, and you can't detect it, first of all. And the symptoms, it's fatal within 5 days. Damn. So by the time you're gone, it's like, oh, well, we found why. We found out why they're gone. But there's like no way to stop it, kind of thing. That
like reminds me of whatever that like parasite is. Like if you go in the ocean and it can like TMI, but like get up in your private parts, and it's like also fatal. There's so many things out there that can just like kill you, and you can't even see them. It's not fair.
This is why when people give me crap about, you don't know how to swim, you don't swim, you don't go into like, no, I don't.
It's like, damn, I thought we were at least safe in pools.
First of all, I fully accept that if the world ends in a flood, I will be the first one to go, and I'm totally fine with that. I mean,
I think a lot of people are like that know how to swim are also doomed. Like floods aren't just like a big pool. Like they're gonna take you out. It's like being like swept away by like a wall made of water.
I'm not. Yeah, I
like,
wouldn't.
We give up.
I'd rather be like, okay, yeah, I surrender, than having to survive for the rest of my time.
That's also
okay. Well, that's totally completely off.
That's
topic,
like a really big, not so.
But what I'm saying is that don't shame people for not knowing how to swim. You never know. I'm not gonna be.
I would never shame you.
First of all, because I cannot swim, I'm not gonna be going into a body of water to. Be a threat to myself because I'm making this silly move.
Yeah.
So don't shame me, first of all, for not knowing how to swim. I choose to not know how to swim because I don't like big bodies of water.
I get it.
So don't shame. You don't know how to swim? No, I don't, bro. Do you know how to cook?
Kind of.
Well, I'm not. Jeez. It's not personal. I'm just saying.
What was I gonna say? So it can just be literally in any body of water, this amoeba, and there's no way to know.
It's a parasite, and the CDC acknowledges it as a brain-eating amoeba.
Well, that's really depressing.
That's fun. That's a not so fun fact.
It's very not so fun.
But it's not my favorite fact.
No. I kind of like the octopus one better.
Yeah, but I felt like just
like it doesn't affect
saying this male organ gets attached to the female octopus, and then she uses it whenever she feels like it, which is it's consensual, I guess, in a sense, if you're trying to think of it.
I think they just like everyone knows what's gonna happen. There's no surprises. Like if you're a male octopus, you just know that could be a part of your life. I think, and they accept it.
A male octopus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Cause I think it's just like it is what it is. You know?
If you really think of it, it's like an ultimate form of love.
Exactly.
Because he can be like I love you so much, you can have this part of me, kind of thing. You know what? I have 8 hearts. Or how many hearts
3.
do they have?
They have 3
I have
hearts.
3 hearts, but you can have this instead.
Would you give me your organ, babe?
I'll give you my...
Oh, crap. I take it back. There's like no way I can even say that to make it not sound like that. Okay, I'll just say this. Would you do that for me, babe?
I will give you my piano pipes any day.
Oh my god.
My organs.
Yes, I picked up on that.
Like that episode of SpongeBob.
SpongeBob with the cape.
Yeah, where he's wearing a big cape and he's just like, he's like upset because he thinks he's ugly.
Right, but he just smells.
Can you please put that on the
sound?
No, not the sound. The
the Instagram?
The Instagram.
Yeah. I could do that.
Okay, thank you.
I need more things to post anyways. If you ever have an idea, just let me know and then if you ever have any fun post ideas.
I have a lot of fun post ideas.
Well, tell me.
No, it's because then it's just like, it's stupid things like this, you know? Or
Yeah,
it's
but
just
it's
SpongeBob
funny.
in a cape playing an organ.
It's funny.
It is funny this time.
It's like not even related to our story
but
at all.
It is.
It's related to your fun, not so fun fact. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're right.
It's fine though. It's funny and people can enjoy it and just take the picture. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Anyway, I think this is where I end my segment.
Thank you. That was a good segment. Also kind of terrifying. But I learned something about octopi.
Yeah. Octopus. Octopus.
Octopies.
Is it not octopus?
I've
heard of octopi. I think that's still correct.
Correct.
But I think octopus is also still correct.
Like moose? And like that? Like, because it's like 1 moose or like 3 moose.
I think the correct way is meese.
Yep.
Or I think meese is for mice.
It's the male version of geese.
Meese.
Anyways, that concludes
I think the male version of geese is guys.
Exactly.
That's funny. You gotta say that's funny. Guys? Instead
of
geese?
That is funny. That's pretty funny. I commend you.
You get it, right?
I do get it.
Thank you.
All right. Now that officially concludes our not so fun fact segment. Yay! Oh yes, applause is always necessary. I want applause after my story. Okay. Are you ready?
Ooh.
Alrighty.
I know you see me standing here. Do I look good, my dear? Do I look good today? Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm just another
we're not gonna do the whole song, babe.
Girl.
You gotta get to bed, remember?
And I wanna sell the squirrel.
It's illegal.
Because you're fucking gay.
Thought we weren't cursing anymore.
Oh, if you wanna play, come and play today, 'cause you're freaking gay.
Good job.
Is that better?
Yeah, much better.
Okay, thank you.
We'll see what we keep in there.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'm ready, Freddy.
I hope so. Okay.
I'm ready, Shreddy.
So,
I'm ready, Streddy.
this week,
You gotta strut like you
Chihuahua.
mean it. Free your mind is not enough just to... Come on.
You skipped a word.
What's the word?
Dream it. It's not enough just to dream it. You didn't say it.
It's your chance to shine. Strut like you mean it. Come on, get up. Mírame, esto es mi sueño. Come on,
Okay.
get up. Sígueme y descubre mi Barcelona.
Now I'm gonna have to figure out how to cut this up.
Sorry.
Okay, we are starting.
Cut it out.
Yeah, babe.
Alrighty, I'm ready.
All right. So this week's episode was suggested after my story.
Okay, sorry.
It was suggested by another anonymous. This one is from Tennessee, though.
Oh.
So they have a very specific topic that they suggested, tailored to us because it's in Tennessee.
Okay.
It's actually very close to us. I won't say the town. It probably will be obvious, but to try not to triangulate ourselves too much. But this is the Hermitage Estate.
Oh, I've heard of it. I see the signs when I come back home from work. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, no, I don't.
They don't know what direction you're coming from. So to start things off, as always, here is a little bit of history about the place. So on July 5th, 1804...
I already know I'm not going to like the history.
It's bad.
Yeah, I know. It's
I didn't go too in depth with the bad parts. Just it's a kind of a given.
We know.
We know.
We know the history of the South.
Yeah. So on July 5th, 1804, President Andrew Jackson purchased a 425-acre farm in the Nashville area from his neighbor Nathaniel Hayes. He would...
Nathaniel.
That sounded like SNL with a speech impediment.
Oh, don't do that.
Stop. No, we're done.
Don't do that. That's strawberry. That's where I'm getting it from.
Yeah.
That's from nowhere else. If you think it's from anything else, then you should question yourself.
So, he ended up calling this place his rural retreat, eventually using the French term hermitage or ermitage.
Hermitage.
So Jackson ended up expanding this land into a plantation for just literally one reason: to produce cotton as a money-making enterprise.
I don't think that's the only thing that was reproducing there, but...
So, of course, this unfortunately meant there were enslaved people working there. And by 1845, the plantation required over 160 enslaved workers. About 100 of them were for just handling the cotton, and the rest were needed to satisfy the needs of the family for things like cooking, cleaning, gardening, and driving the carriages.
And something else that's not mentioned.
Right.
That we all know about.
Do your own research.
Yeah. So, look up Thomas Jefferson and see what he did.
Thomas Jefferson?
Didn't you say Thomas Jefferson?
I've said Andrew Jackson 3 times.
Andrew Jackson. Oh my God.
Hey, listen.
Well, look up Andrew Jackson. Yeah. If you don't know what he did with his people, then look it up.
So, Andrew Jackson.
Not Thomas Jefferson.
And his wife, Rachel.
Rachel.
Were actually not able to have children.
Oh.
But they did end up adopting Rachel's nephew, naming him Andrew Jackson Jr., which I'm pretty sure he probably already had a name. I don't know how old he was when they adopted him, but he wasn't like an infant. So they just renamed him so he could live on with the family name. I don't know. So when Andrew Jackson died in June of 1845, Andrew Jackson Jr. inherited the Hermitage Estate. But with cotton prices falling, bad financial decisions, and natural disasters, he just fell further and further into debt. So he started to sell some of the enslaved people.
Wow.
Yeah, as well as most of the Hermitage farmlands to individuals. And then in 1856, he eventually sold what he had left to the state of Tennessee. But by 1861, as the Civil War progressed, he and his wife, Sarah, returned to the Hermitage, and the state allowed them to live there as tenants for the rest of their lives.
At the Hermitage?
Mm-hmm. So they
Andrew Jackson Jr. and his wife?
Yeah, so basically he couldn't handle, running the place, so he sold it to the state, but then they ended up coming back and just basically, renting from them, so they didn't have to worry about the upkeep and stuff like that, I guess. So Andrew Jackson Jr. died in 1865 from a hunting accident, and Sarah died in 1887, leaving the Hermitage to their son, Andrew Jackson III, who left the estate in 1893.
Oh, so they were trying to do in the book Holes. Like Stanley Yelnats.
Stanley Yelnats the third. Yep. Yeah. So before the Andrew Jackson III even left, an association called the Ladies Hermitage Association acquired the property from the state in 1889. And that same year, the Tennessee Confederate Soldiers' Home was established on the property.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're making it even worse.
Yeah, it's the South, right? Yeah.
Which not everyone is like that.
No,
just clearing that up.
Yeah. But it exists here.
It does exist.
Still to this day.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Even though they're not, some of them don't recognize themselves as Republican, the Libertarian Party is still relatively the same, which I learned today.
Okay.
Yeah, so
interesting.
Libertarian doesn't necessarily mean Green Party. It means, like Republicans, but not to that extreme. Not storming the Capitol kind of thing. They're more like, let's make all drugs legal, and if you decide to overdose, that's your fault.
Right.
Kind of thing,
All right.
Which, to each their own.
Yeah. So, some of the Civil War veterans that were living in this home, they assisted in farming the land to supply food for the home, but the soldiers' home did end up closing in 1933. So the Ladies Hermitage Association hired workers to farm the land, which helped support the property to operate as a museum. And actually, the Hermitage is still a functional farm today that is more than 1,100 acres. It's like huge. My mom lives on 18 acres. So think about
1,100?
1,100, right? That's a lot of land.
Yeah.
The land has multiple buildings and structures, a garden, a nature trail, a modern farming operation, and a seasonal small cotton patch still.
Dang.
Yeah.
Which, I feel like a douche for admitting this, but when someone's like, oh, I lived in, a 3-4 acres, and that was, a lot of land. And I'm like, yeah, well, my mother-in-law lives in... I feel like a douche admitting that, but that's what I think. I never say that out loud.
Right.
But I'm like, okay,
Yeah. But I mean, for us, that's a lot of land. If we were to have a property on 4 acres,
I would be working out there every day.
You would. You already kind of were before we started working on our 50 by 100 foot backyard.
Yeah, which is a lot for me, considering.
You're not used to it.
It's bigger than your backyard back home.
I guess it's just a different
your childhood
shape.
Home. It's bigger than that, and it's definitely bigger than my backyard back home.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways.
I didn't mean to sound like a douchebag, but I just wanted to say that as a fun thing. I'm always like, well, my in-law Diane, she's she lives on 18 acres. No big deal.
Yep.
Super cool. Super spooky at night.
Speaking of which, it's time to get into the
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're fine. I was letting you have your fun, but
Diane,
you gotta get to bed.
Yeah, I do. That's why I'm all
loopy.
You got a
bedtime now. So, we're just gonna kind of get right into some stories, actually. So our first story dates all the way back to 1889 when the Ladies Hermitage Association acquired the property. So they didn't have a caretaker yet, so 2 of the women from the association volunteered to just stay the night to make sure that the place didn't get vandalized. So the women were sleeping in the front parlor when they were awakened by loud, aggressive sounds coming from the butler's pantry. Almost like chains rattling.
Well, like Arlo right now with
his toy.
Bells.
He suddenly decided to enter the chat.
For real.
So the noises just kept getting louder and louder. And then suddenly a rolling boom happened that literally shook the house.
A rolling boom?
The 2 women described the sound as a horse being ridden through the main hallway.
What?
Yeah, suspicion. What is it? Legend says that maybe Andrew Jackson was still like riding his horse in battle or something like that.
In the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
So these sounds continued to be heard throughout the decades, as well as some other sounds in the house.
I guess it's kind of like residual, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call that intelligent. It's just kind of what was going on at the time happening.
Right.
And I mean, it really wasn't that far off from when it did happen. We're still in the 1800s.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It just wears off in 20 years. Just, you're fine.
There's like a warranty.
Yeah.
So one of the employees that was making his rounds one night to close up the place, like, well, it was operating as a museum. Right. He was whistling while he walked around the house, like getting the lights.
While we work.
Literally.
Da, 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 da.
But after a while, he realized he wasn't the only one whistling. He searched the place from top to bottom to see if there was someone else in the building, but there was no one. And the whistling just continued, like even after he stopped. The guy was so freaked out that he called his boss to come meet him so he wouldn't be alone.
Damn.
Yeah.
I feel like we hear that a lot about like spookiness, things happening at workplaces. And like they always call the boss.
I get it.
The manager, just to like have...
Right. I would do that, or I would just leave, maybe.
I've left. I think I've told you about the Domino's
story.
When I just left and I left the lights on and everything, and I called Sergio and I was like, or I texted him or something, or I told him the next day, like, I'm
get it.
not gonna stay. Arlo, knock it off, bro.
I don't think he knows how to.
Well, he knows how to knock it off, but...
Look, here's his big brother. He'll keep him in check.
Good.
Keep him in check, Binks.
Check.
He just looks at me like, you think I can control that?
He's like, I'm not dealing with that shit.
That is not my job.
You brought him in.
Yeah, for real.
Geez.
And Arlo's terrorizing him.
Of course.
Jesus.
Okay.
All right. So, excuse me. Just a bit more history. Back when Andrew Jackson and his wife, Rachel, were living at the Hermitage, Andrew had a garden designed for her. When she died, he had her buried in that garden in a tomb.
Wow.
So he visited that grave every day and spoke with her while smoking a cigar. So nowadays, there are many reports seeing and feeling the ghost of Andrew Jackson in the garden. And people have heard footsteps roaming through the bushes and have seen the garden gate swing open on its own.
I mean, I guess it could also be her, or it could be a slave.
It could be.
Stuck there.
But there is also the undeniable smell of cigar smoke by the tomb. So it could be everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now moving on to the trees of the property. So each tree was actually removed from a battle site where Jackson fought and planted in the grove of the Hermitage.
What?
Mm-hmm. Guides have reported seeing apparitions of soldiers wandering around the grove, and visitors claimed to have felt extreme cold spots and full-body chills while hanging out around the trees.
I feel like if when we visit, I would want to, like, I guess, like, see something more than feel a chill.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. I feel like I feel a chill when I'm, like, just standing at work.
Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, I feel like I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, if I visit these places,
we need something
maybe
concrete.
I'm a little more open to these bigger things now. You know?
Because that's what's going to, like, do it for you.
Yeah, that'll solidify it more. Cause
I get it.
I'm a believer, but I feel like I'm open.
The skeptic believer?
Yeah, I feel like I'm more open right now to... Not in my house. Nothing's allowed in my house. F everything that is, you know, all that stuff. It's we're divinely protected, as they like to say. But when we visit these places, I am open to seeing more things, not inviting anything, but if it happens, it happens, kind of thing. That Dutch Bros is good right now.
Oh, of course.
We're drinking some ASMR.
So, we're not done with ASMR.
Oh, jeez, that was not me. That was
the cats are adding their own ASMR. Why am I not surprised that you choked?
All right. Okay, I'm ready.
Good. All right. So, why is the Hermitage so haunted?
We just talked about it. We said Andrew Jackson.
We're going to talk about it more.
Andrew Jackson VP is haunting it.
Yes. But why? Okay. So, oh my God, I just got it. Look at Arlo right now. Why is he too cool for school?
I can't. My cool Harry Potter books that
they're blocking your view.
That I've tried to quiz you on are blocking me.
Well, he's too cool for school.
Well, good. More school for me then.
Yeah, exactly. So, why is the Hermitage haunted? Well, to start, Andrew Jackson, VP, was responsible for displacing thousands of Native Americans from their land.
Lame.
Of course. Are you surprised?
No.
No, of course not. There's also been almost 500 deaths reported on the property, not counting unreported enslaved people.
What?
I don't.
Jesus.
The cats are gonna wreck our studio.
Yeah, we open the door for them and they
this is how they repay us. I don't know who the 500 people were, but that seems excessive.
Is that just like regular casualties from the war, maybe?
Maybe, but the war wasn't fought on the land at all.
How are you so sure, though?
I don't know. I mean, because it's like documented, that it didn't reach there. I don't know.
Nope. I mean...
Well, because it was his rural retreat, so that he wanted it, away from work, I don't know. Yeah, obviously, I can't say for sure.
That's not too far out from Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it technically is Nashville, in a sense.
Right.
It's not too far from, landmarks that are marked as part of the Civil War. That's kind of weird.
I feel know. I can't say for certain that's what was reported.
That's kind of like the law that realtors hide behind when they're like, no, absolutely no one could have died here.
No one died on this property.
No one died.
It was down the road, but
no
not
one
here.
Died. No one died this year. No, of course not. No one's died here in the last 6 months. But I can't say anything more than that. No one's died here in the last 14 weeks. But and that is.
When it looks at watch, the last 38 minutes we're death free. We're good. You guys are good.
And so that estate sale that was happening 13 weeks ago has nothing to do with anything that happened more than 14 weeks ago.
Nothing
it's
at
just,
all.
It is what it is.
Everything's fine. So, to top things off, remember those trees on the property that came from the battle sites?
Yep.
So who's to say that some of the poor people that lost their lives during the war didn't attach to those trees and come on over to the Hermitage?
That's a good one, but right? I don't know.
No.
That's kind of crazy to say, that's my tree, and then just attach to it. And then...
I don't know. That's where people feel the chills. And they do see soldiers over there by the trees.
I don't know.
But yeah, there's just a lot of messed up energy going on there. And we're going there in a month. So we'll find out for ourselves. But yeah, that was the short and not so sweet story of the Hermitage Estate.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, final thoughts.
What are yours?
So, I guess I don't know. I can't really say anything yet
until I meet the
police.
I think I need more info on the 500 deaths, because that 100,000% will probably make this place haunted. But who are these people and how did they die?
Right. I feel like a lot of the history of places like this, for example, I know being
it's horrible.
Kind of like the Winchester, right? A lot of its history is kind of locked up within itself.
Like the true history.
Right. So I feel like we won't get a good deep dive until we go visit and see for ourselves. But I don't know. I know it's a huge historical landmark here in Nashville. But I don't know.
Yeah, there wasn't too much out there. A lot of the information was more on unexpected ASMR. A lot of the information was more just on the plantation and it's like farming stats and stuff like that. I didn't think you guys would care about that. So
we want to hear about the cows and their monoxide contribution to the greenhouse gases that are killing the atmosphere and creating the hole in the the ozone layer.
Exactly.
Right.
That and ghosts.
Yeah, cow poop and ghosts.
Well, we got the ghost part covered as always.
Alrighty.
But we need more ghost stories to cover, and alien stories, and cryptid stories, urban legends, true crime stories.
Anything and everything.
So please tell us what you want to hear, because remember, these are all picked out by you guys, so we need your suggestions ASAP.
And if you have anything that you'd like to share with us, you can send it over to whatsyourfavoritescarystory at gmail.com, or you can send it to our Instagram,
which is also What's Your Favorite Scary Story.
Yeah,
that's it. Short and sweet episode for you guys this week.
Continue to be nice to each other.
Important.
No fighting. Fighting's annoying.
Fighting's lame.
Yeah, I hate that stuff. It's become my pet peeve, and we're just turned off by fighting. So no fighting.
Be nice, people.
Be nice to each other.
Fighting isn't going to get us anywhere. Just be kind, and I think that's all we can really do.
Yeah, and I think that's it.
That's all we got for you guys.
Okay.
We got a wedding coming up, so these episodes are probably going to get a little bit shorter. But they're still going to be good, and they can only be good if you keep sending us your suggestions. And we appreciate you guys, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. We see you. We appreciate you. And what's your favorite scary story? If you have any questions, please send them in. And don't forget to rate and share. Because sharing is caring.
Oh, and if you don't, the cats are going to come attack you. So you better do it.
Alrighty. I think we're good.
We will talk to you guys next week.
Sounds good. Stay
spooky.
Spooky.